Today I have a review for a movie that didn't do too well in the box office, but I just saw it on HBO and it was pretty darn good. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Turnout. I'm your host Aloy. Don't forget to follow us on usaaudiences.com where you can sign up for a special event and movie screening invites. So the movie that I saw just recently was The Darkest Minds. And I'm into, X-Men movies, the MCU movies, anything that has like superpowers. So there's like even Push and Wanted. I'm into these kind of movies where people have powers and I dig stuff like that. So when I saw the trailers and everything for The Darkest Minds when it first came out, I was like, wow, that looks really good. But then it just kind of went away. And because I'd never really heard anything else really about it, it vanished from my mind. So come last week when I was sitting down and I was like, what are we going to watch tonight? I say to my wife. She's like, I don't know, pick a movie. And I saw The Darkest Minds and I'm like, hey, let's watch this. This is one, it looked good when I saw the trailer for it. Let's try it out. She's like, okay. And you know what? I thought it was pretty good. But that's not the reaction that the public had for the movie. It cost $34 million to make this movie, but it only made $12.6 million domestically. It did end up making $41 million worldwide, but that is a terrible showing here at home, and it basically only barely made them any money, so that would explain why there is no Darkest Minds 2 coming out anytime soon that I've heard of. But I get it though, because it's another young adult novel series turned into a movie. Harry Potter hit really, really big, X-Men hit big, so they're like, hey, this must just be a formula that can work, so let's just try it out with everything. And they did a couple of Percy Jackson movies, even though those weren't necessarily all that great, and The Darkest Minds kind of falls under that same veil there. It was the cinematic debut of Darkest Minds. It was written by Alexandra Bracken. It's a dystopian view of the world after, well, no one knows why any of the events actually happen, but the majority of the world's children all die. Those who survive develop powers, and they are categorized by the new color of their eyes. Greens get superior intelligence, blues get telekinesis, yellow get energy control, oranges get mind control, and reds become fire-breathing monsters, apparently. The adults crack down on the kids and put them into like work camps and actually start just disposing of any kid that is orange or red. But that's already just getting way deep into the review just by describing the world. Let's talk about the stars really quick. Amandla Stenberg plays Ruby, the main star of the movie, an orange who figures out quick she needs to pretend to be a green or she'll be killed. The actress is best known as Rue from The Hunger Games, but also starred in 2008's social commentary movie, The Hate U Give. So I'm really digging this up-and-coming talent. Harry Dickinson played Liam, Ruby's love interest, because it's a teen drama story after all. He's a blue, so he can move things with telekinesis. He has actually some of the coolest special effects scenes, but the actor's filmography is pretty short. The Darkest Minds looks like it was his first big shot, but he is going on to do some voice work for the upcoming Dark Crystal, so I can't wait for that. Skylan Brooks plays Chubbs, but you can only call him that if he's your friend. He's a green, so he's super smart, and he comes off as the smartest person in the room, even smarter than other greens. Skylan is known for his reoccurring role as Quincy on Empire, but has been acting since 2008, so I dig him. Mia Czech plays Zoo, a young girl who is mostly mute, and she's a yellow, which means she can control energy. And she does it a few times, but she's almost like a get-out-of-jail-free card for the writers. I recently saw her in a Netflix movie called Rim of the World, and she was awesome in that too, so it was cool to see her in this earlier role. I hope that we see more of her in the future. Mandy Moore also makes an appearance, but it's not a huge role. If they were to have gotten a sequel, it would have become a bigger role later on. So that's the setup, so I'm excited to go ahead and give you the emojis for this movie. And just as a reminder, we do give emojis and not stars or actual scores. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you always know when the Turnout puts out a new video. We've been going strong, and we've gone over 200 subs recently, so sky's the limit. Let's just keep this going. So the first emoji I'm gonna give this movie is the confused emoji. And I know that I said I like the movie already, so I guess that's kind of like just gonna be out there floating above all these other emojis I give. But literally, the first one has to be confused because the world building in this movie, it might be better in the books. I have not read the books, but the world building in the movie was just very, very confusing. They talk about a world without kids, and that a world without kids means a world without an economy. But it doesn't really explain that. It also doesn't explain why the world resorted to just caging up all of the children. It doesn't explain what happened to new couples who might be trying to have new kids. Or are the new kids also just born with this stuff? Or are all the old adults now sterile? Like, what's going on in the world? Like, it's cool to focus on the character, and I think they did a good job with that. But the world in which the character lives is also part of that character. I guess it's almost a character in itself. And I did not get it. They just left so much out in the world building department. And I think it really could just be that they were trying to maybe bite off more than they could chew. They didn't really do much to try and break out of the young adult novel turned into a movie formula that we've been now seeing for, 15, 20 years now at this point. So the next emoji I'm gonna give is gonna be the meh emoji. We have the younger hero thrust into a world of danger, running for her life until she finally decides to become a part of the solution. In the process, she has to give up on her personal dreams in hopes of helping everyone else around her. She encounters an enemy who shows himself as a friend at first, and then in the end, she's the only one who can take him down, and does, but of course, he comes back at the end. So yeah, it's, kind of predictable, and I think it mirrors other movies like Hunger Games and Percy Jackson and Harry Potter, all of these other movies that I think it's trying to be like. But there was one scene in the movie where they literally had me dumbstruck. It's where you really get a sense of how powerful an orange can be. It's a scene where there's a hunter who has been tracking them the whole movie. She's played by Brienne from Game of Thrones, so really cool character. I actually dug her quite a bit, but she's a hunter, so she's an antagonist. She's after the kids. She's trying to bring them in. And Ruby, because the hunter didn't know that she was an orange, wasn't incapacitated first, but this is where Ruby says, "I want you to go walk in that direction, and don't ever stop walking. No matter how tired you get, no matter's in your way, you will walk forever." And then she does that. And I was like, okay, adults, you know what? I was not with you at first. I was thinking, man, this really sucks that, like, if you're orange or you're red, you have to be disposed of. I mean, these are children that we're talking about. I mean, why could you be so heartless? But then this scene happened. And it really kind of reinforced the reason why they might have made that decision in the first place. Teens aren't really necessarily known for their logic and rational thinking, so you just have to imagine how many instances of things like this had to occur before all of the adults as a collective decided, yeah, we can't have this. Maybe mind control isn't the best for anybody to have. So yeah, reds are dangerous. They become fire-breathing monsters that go, "Argh." Run! And the adults keep them locked up in prisons as secret weapons and stuff. That's really bad too. But yo, oranges though. Oranges are scary, and this is the hero of the movie, and I am literally scared of her. And for that, I'm gonna give the holy crap emoji. But really, in the end, I liked it. I'm gonna give the last emoji here, it's just gonna be the smile emoji, because I do think it actually came off as a pretty good movie. It wasn't groundbreaking, it didn't blow my mind except for how scared I was, but it was good. It was a decent movie that they could have built a sequel that was even better off of. It was inoffensive. It did a couple of things that were cool and interesting, and it leaves a cliffhanger that was pretty good. So yeah, honestly, it made me feel bad that it didn't get the attention attention and, you know, the return on investment that I think that it probably deserved. I thought it was a good movie, and I think I would have liked to have seen a second one. And who are we kidding? A third one, because all of these things come in threes now. So my 4 emojis were the confused emoji, the meh emoji, the holy crap emoji, and the smile emoji. Let me know what you guys think about my emojis in the comments, and what 4 emojis would you give this movie, or am I good enough? Otherwise, don't forget to hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you hit the bell notification, you'll find out which color eyes you would have gotten in the movie. But I've been your host, Aloy. This has been the Turnout. Thanks for showing up.